Mr. Sidónio, thank you very much for doing this, and thank you very much for having us in Dili. Trade between Malaysia and Timor-Leste has been growing, but many say the potential is still very much untapped. Now, how would you describe the current level of business links between these two countries, Malaysia and Timor?
Oh, thank you. First of all, welcome to Timor-Leste, and I hope you stay here, you will explore more the beauty of the island. Of course, the trade between Timor-Leste and Malaysia has been ongoing, but we also hope that we could increase more the volume, especially now with the open link of the flight between Timor-Leste and Malaysia. This is the starting. And almost over weekends, we have a lot of visitors coming here. But these visitors come looking for the opportunity in Timor-Leste. We currently looking, I think, one of the major products that coming from Malaysia and approved by the government is the trade of most of the consumers' goods, eggs coming from Malaysia, chicken coming from Malaysia, because currently we got it from Brazil. The shift it into ASEAN now. And of course, there are some other possibilities also. We would like to see if Malaysia could trade with Timor-Leste, especially in our discussions that coming up, especially for the food, for the farming, chicken, piggeries, and of course other products that we are trying to expand. Now, we also looking at the opportunity of oil and gas. I think one of the areas that Petronas has been work historically have been in Timor-Leste in many years back. And currently, with the support of the new CEO from Petronas, have signed MOU with the Minister of Petroleum and also with the National Petroleum Authority of Timor-Leste. And looking forward, these MOUs could be tightened relationship between explorations and productions in oil and gas industry. Other than that, we're also looking at the Malaysians who are doing business here in Timor-Leste, especially in hotels, in tourism, and of course, now we also started in terms of diving. I think in the...
That comes under the blue ocean economy?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, correct. So currently we have some Malaysians who came over to Timor-Leste a few months back, and they have explored several, especially in Atauru, and they are looking at the opportunity of setting up facilities in Atauru to start the diving activities and joint venture with some of the diving companies in Timor-Leste. Now, these are the existing businesses, but we also looking at other areas as well. You know, one of the area that Timor-Leste is looking at in terms of revenues that to support in terms of diversifying the economy is looking at exploring the agricultural sector. I do believe that in Malaysia there are some agricultural activities you have used technology and you have increased a lot of in productivity as well, and then also in terms of results has been double the results. And therefore, the practice in Timor-Leste, often we still have a traditional practice, especially looking at food production, in developing technology to assist the farmers in producing the rice. And currently, Chamber of Commerce concentrating of supporting all the farmers to increase the production and also to expand the rice field in terms of agricultural acquisition of the land. So the Chamber of Commerce working together with government in terms of preparing the seedlings and preparing the fertilizers, as well as also expanding the use of the lands for continuous production of the rice. And this is the main target of, in terms of food security. So the Chamber of Commerce working with the government to expand in terms of rice, corn, as well as cassava and other products.
Rice, corn, cassava, yes, and other products. Can you name me one or two of those other products other than cassava?
Kacang hijau.
Kacang hijau, yeah. Green peas.
Yes, yep. Green beans, which is we currently start. And also we also looking at other products like, you know, the vanilla, coffee. So these are the products that mostly we produce. And of course, we would like to expand this and multiply. And of course, all this we would like to focus the support on SMEs and SMEs.
Right. So while the focal point is on coffee outside Timor-Leste, if you talk about Timor-Leste, a lot of coffee lovers say Timor coffee or Timorese coffee. But back home, within Dili or within the island itself, it is known that it's still a very small industry and capacity is not big enough yet. What is being done in these areas to further solidify business going out and export to up the volume of export going of coffee from here?
Of course, this is currently the government plan to work with the private sector, especially to work with the Chamber of Commerce to do the expansion and also to educate the farmers in order to do the expansion of their products. Now, one of the challenges we had here, the climate change have impacted a lot in terms of forestry. Coffee grows not in ordinary locations. You need big trees to give a better shade with calculated sunlight comes in, and also a better research. And most of the coffee that we have in Timor-Leste is on the uphills, and then the government is trying to prohibit as much as possible none of the fertilizer to get into the coffee trees. So to make sure all the coffees has to be organic,
right.
And especially those on the highlands and need to be protected and need to be expanded. However, we require to do the reforestation in order to acquire new plantation of trees in order to provide the shades for the new coffee of the new plantations.
Right.
So this is what we are doing. At the same time, for the rice fields, we are working together with the government, and we require the government in order to push forward for the land certificate, and then to provide us more locations so that the farmers could expand their farming, and to work with the private, the Chamber of Commerce. And Chamber of Commerce, currently we supply all the seedlings and fertilizers, as well as technical assistance to the farmers on this.
Right. I'd like to move to companies from Malaysia now. When you speak to them, rata-rata, they all say that they're interested, but they're cautious. My question is simply this: what is the Chamber doing to make it easier for them to enter the Timorese market and to build partnerships on the ground? We see businessmen from many countries already here. How would this make it easier for, say, SMEs from Malaysia to come in here?
This is something that I think require a lot of dialogue between the private sectors of Malaysia and Timor-Leste. It's the same thing. To start the business is not easy. You need a confidence in the market. I think there are a lot of Malaysians here, but less confidence. Maybe they have, business has to look at from all perspective. Personally, I think we have negotiated with some of them. They have arrived in Timor, but when they do the assessment by themselves, we haven't had a follow-up meeting so that we could understand what really they need and what really they want from the Chamber of Commerce to assist them. And this is where we really need a time and commitment from both parties in order to have a discussion so that, to have the confidence in the market. Now, there are so many businesses in Timor that the product is there. It comes to SMEs, we have. But then there are a lot of assistance to assist these women specifically in order to improve their products up to the standard were required in Malaysia. And on the other hand, I think government needs to help us to create this policy in place, as well as also certification of the products, the origin of Timor-Leste, before going to Malaysia.
Now, Malaysia is the chair of ASEAN this year, and Timor's session is firmly on the agenda. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that everyone's looking forward to this. Now, how does Malaysia's role as chair help Timor move faster, let's say, towards regional integration?
I think, I would really thank Malaysian chairperson, Tan Sri Nazir, who helped a lot of Timor-Leste in this year to be part of ASEAN. And in fact, currently he continued to encourage Timor-Leste to integrate itself into ASEAN, specifically align its policy with ASEAN, and at the same time working with ASEAN partners in order to expand their businesses in ASEAN, and at the same time bringing in businesses from other ASEAN countries come to Timor-Leste. And this is very interesting. I think through his effort, finally we have this flight from Malaysia to Timor-Leste. In most of the meeting we have discussed, and of course Asia, the Air Asia, Tony Fernandez also expresses his interest. We hope in the future there are more Timorese to visit Malaysia and Malaysia visit Timor-Leste.
Likewise. Well, having said that, joining ASEAN isn't just a milestone, it also opens a lot of doors for different businesses. Now, what new opportunities, let's say, will a full membership create for companies here or Timorese companies, particularly when it comes to, let's say, regional markets and even trade flow or trade flows, to be exact?
Yeah, I think this is one of the challenges that we have right now. We have a lot of product. Maybe this product the quantity is still small, and therefore we really need to increase the quantity of the product that we had. Give you one of the very clear example. Everybody talks about coffee, but we also have vanilla, and vanilla has been going to the international market, and the price is quite challenging and also very competitive price. However, we really need to increase the quantity, and this needs to work with farmers. The farmers in Timor, this is what they would only see the opportunity when there is there are buyers. If there are no buyers, then they will shift the product right away.
So saying if vanilla is the big thing now, how does ASEAN or ASEAN countries tap into this? I mean, when you talk about soft diplomacy, let's talk about ice cream. Would that be the first way to go?
In terms of ASEAN, we as Timor-Leste, I think one of our products that we would like to bring into ASEAN market is the organic. I think this makes Timor-Leste stands with its own identity compared
to organic coffee, we're going for organic rice and organic vanilla. Yeah?
I think there are several products that we had here. Organic coffee, organic vanilla, organic gingers and rice, and we also looking at the other products that coming in is this product that currently very famous now. It's marunga. I don't know in English, probably we also call it marungi in Timor.
Moringa.
Yeah, moringa.
Yeah.
So currently we would like to expand this, and we do a lot in the market, but we also would like to expand to other products. And I think one of the areas that untapped currently, we have the ocean. It's a vast ocean. Compared to our land size is smaller, our ocean is bigger. So we would like to look at opportunities in that sector. First is the fishery. Currently we have fisheries, but mostly it's traditional. We haven't had any technology come into our Timor-Leste in order to use technology for the fishery system. So we would like to see if there are interest to come into the fishery. We would like to, a Chamber of Commerce would like to join, and then we work together how to start businesses there. But this is also, I would like to encourage our ASEAN members, most of Timorese businesses, they have, when you say fisheries and oil and gas, we have limited companies. So there might be no companies had experience, but they would like to start. The problem, I think the challenge is our international friends comes in, would like to have a company who already established. So this is where we have, you require a lot of confidence to be built between the partners so that they have a trust, and this requires a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. We've got about a minute more. What would be your message to Malaysia or the cabinet in Malaysia and the Prime Minister who's pushing very much for the accession of Timor-Leste into ASEAN, and also the other countries who are joining hands to pull this together soon? Your message as the Vice President for the Chamber of Commerce and Industry right here in Timor-Leste.
My message from Malaysians and especially to our ASEAN friends help Timor-Leste to harmonize its policy, align with ASEAN, especially now that we are concentrating on developing digitalization, which concentrating on trade across the border, paperless trade across the border, and at the same time, enhancing the capacity and building Timorese, young Timorese, who could come up with the skills, with the entrepreneurs, employ themselves, develop businesses with partners from other ASEAN countries, and then we can supply the product of Timor to ASEAN, and especially to align with all the requirements in ASEAN, which is currently our government is working very hard with our private sector in order to align with ATIGA, ASA, and all the requirements that need to be followed.
Right, Mr. SIDÓNIO TRINDADE de Costa FREITAS, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, right here in Timor-Leste. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure and an honor.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for this hour's broadcast. Don't forget to visit Bernama.com and follow us on all our social media channels, YouTube, X, Instagram and Facebook for the latest news. You can also receive updates from Bernama Radio at 93.9 FM. This has been The World on Bernama TV. I'm Pasha Rahim. Thanks for watching.